Fabio Paratici is set to return to Tottenham in an official role from as early as September, October. Stay tuned to the very end as I give my thoughts on this reaction. We look as well and analyse Fabio Paratici's time at Tottenham, which is really interesting. The goods, the bad, whether this is the right thing or not for Tottenham. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Welcome back. Let's get straight into it. Right, let's provide you firstly with the latest news. People haven't seen it. So, Give Me Sport, with Ben Jacobs who reported for them, said that Fabio Paratici is set to return to Tottenham in an official role. An agreement is already in place, he says, for him to start in the role, starting no later than the 1st of October. He will lead the recruitment team, just as he did previously. So, firstly, let's go over all of Fabio Paratici's signings when he was previously Tottenham's Director of Football, and all these fees are from transfermarket.co.uk. So the 21-22 season, Pierluigi Gallini as a loan, Brian Gill, £21.6 million plus Eric Lamela, Christian Romero loan plus £42.5 million, Pat Matessar £14.6 million, Emerson Rayo £25.7 million, Dejan Kulusevski £10.5 million loan plus £25 million, Rodrigo Bentancur £21.6 million. That's a 21-22 window. 2022-23 window, Ivan Perisic free, Fraser Forster free, Yves Bissouma £35 million, Richarlison £60 million, Clement Longley loan, Destiny Doggy £18 million, Jed Spence £20 million, Onat Danjuma £2.5 million loan, Pedro Porro £6 million loan plus £33.5 million. 2023-24 window, Guillermo Vicario £17.2 million, James Maddison £40 million, Manor Solomon free, Ashley Phillips £2 million, Mickey van der Ven £43 million, Alejo Valise £13.4 million, Brendan Johnson £47.5 million. That's all of Fabio Paratici's business that he'd done when he was Tottenham's Director of Football. And as you can see there were ups and there were downs. Overall, I would say I'm very glad to see him back. This is a good thing to do. I miss his passion kind of on the touchline, in the dugout. I think he's proper Tottenham, always on the phone and, you know, passionate as well, trying to follow the game and doing his calls and stuff at half time and full time for the game as well. So I think this is really, really positive. I think he did do generally some good work, but you can look at Johan Langer as well, and you can look at it and go good things and bad things as well. And I would have thought, and I know nothing, you know, in terms of inside knowledge or anything like that, I'm not even going to claim to. Fabio Paratici, I assume, will be, they say head of recruitment, Johan Langer will likely then in that case be working for him. Maybe they say to Langer, you know, you do something like scout younger players or academy players, something like that. That's what I thought that your role maybe will be. So yeah, to pick up the goods firstly, Fabio Paratici's business at the club, because that's the kind of thing we know. He would have done a lot of positives and maybe negative too away from that. In terms of signings, so let's go through each window and pick up the main positives ones. So the 21-22 window, I mean, Romero, I think that's very good, paid a lot of money for him, but absolutely worth it. I think Pat Matissar now turned out to be a really good signing, but the two for me were the best. They come in the 21-22 January window, and they were Kulusevski and Bentancur. At the time, Kulusevski just for a £10.5 million loan, and Bentancur £21.6 million. Both of them an absolute bargain now, and Kulusevski we triggered later a £25 million option to buy. Both from, you know, Juventus, both players not really working out for them in various different ways. Bentancur really struggling to get in the team. Kulusevski wanted something different, wanted a Premier League challenge. So that was an amazing January window that really helped Antonio Conte get Champions League football. And we wouldn't have got Champions League football without that. So Paratici's intervention, you know, kind of propelled us up the table. 22-23 window is interesting. So Perisic on a free, I mean, for me, you got him far too late in terms of this should have been done for Paratici. Joined the club, should have him several years ago, but it's good that we get him in, and I think for free he did offer quite a bit. I mean, Bissouma for £35 million at the time looked a fantastic deal. I don't really put that against him because at the time he was one of the best DM in the Premier League at Brighton. His whole Tottenham career has been shadowed by inconsistency. It has never really worked out for Tottenham. So that's a real shame. And again, another positive. that I would pick out is Jed Spence, £20 million. How good does he look now? Name me one defender at the moment, at least in the Premier League, that's better than 1v1 defending. A doggy, £18 million. Again, probably been too consistent, can't keep fit, but still a really good bit of business. And Porro's a lot of money, £6 million loan, then £33.5 million buy option, but it's absolutely worth it. So the key positives in that are Porro, in particular, that I would say, I'd say Porro. Porro and a doggy mainly, but Paratici is real positive on a free as well. And we'll come back to the negatives of each window as well. 23-24 window, Vicario stands out to me, £17.2 million. Fantastic recruitment. We all wanted David Raya, I did, and he's probably still the better goalkeeper, but for what the budget he probably had to work with, and that allowed us to free up space to sign the likes of Maddison, Van der Ven and Johnson, which cost ultimately a lot more money. But Vicario, very, very good recruitment. Maddison, £40 million. I mean, that's a top signing. Maybe not to say, oh my god, wow, the recruitment to identify a player, because everyone knows about James Maddison, but still to get him over the line, I think that's a really good fee as well for a player who's worth a lot more. Solomon on the free, whatever we sell for him, we make a profit, so that's a smart bit of business from the club's point of view. Phillips, £2 million. It's hard to really say about that. Van der Ven, £43 million. We paid a lot for the player, overpaid at the time, but slowly his market value will be around that, if not more now already. Brendan Johnson, £47.5 million. There's a lot of money. It's always held against Johnson, but I'd argue now, looking back at it, that's one of the positive things. I'm not saying he's even worth that now, or that it was the right, we paid it was good at the time, but now it looks good. But the negatives of the window, because there are them, we can't, we ignore them as well. It's important to dissect and be open-minded as much as I think, and I'm very glad that he's back, and I think it is a positive thing. In the 21-22 window, Galenia as a loan, not saying anything wrong, but didn't really, it was nothing. The worst one for me in this window is Brian Gill. We paid £21.6 million for Brian Gill. With add-ons, which I don't think he achieved, would have been 25. And we gave away Eric Lamela. Talk about Lamela in terms of a reliable asset. Not, oh my god, what a top player, but he's consistent and Spurs, much like Spurs player. So that was an absolute disaster. And what we're going to get back for Brian Gill, if we get anything, to be absolute peanuts. We're talking probably 5 million max, which is a real shame, probably a loan. So that is a real negative. And Emerson Royale, I think he has some good games at Tottenham, but he's not a £25 million player, is he? Let's be totally honest with you. So a couple of bad things, but 21-22 window, mainly really positive. It's the January window that was the main positive of the two windows, though. And the 22-23 window, think both Richarlison, presumably good signs, both a lot of money. Richarlison, 60 million, I really like him, but you can't say that's top recruitment, because it would have been better out there in terms of value for money, but I'm really glad that Richarlison's here. Long lay on alone, not going to hold that again against him. I get why he done it, maybe what he got, but Danjuma, I don't think it was the right thing. It was on loan though, so you can't really hold that against him. So there's some strange ones in there, but nothing that you go catastrophic. Just some, like Fraser Forster on a free, some unambitious ones is the words. But the 23-24 window, the one that stands out to me is Alejo Valise, £13.4 million. It might still work out, so hopefully it's held against me. But at the moment, this doesn't look very good at this moment in time. But again, times can change. Ashley Phillips, £2 million. I don't see a lot from him. So there are bad things in there. In particular, the Brian Gill one was really poor. And there's some unambitious, but generally his recruitment's been very good. Bentancur and Kulusevski. There's been some Vicario, some top recruitment in there. So I'm really glad he's returned to Tottenham. But at the same time, we can't ignore what he has done at Juventus. It's all very, very dodgy. How much he had to do with it, I don't know. Obviously, he was punished, so he would have had some involvement along with Juventus. So we must keep clean. But I think he's very good. In terms of with the group, with the fans, and the passion he brings. So I'm genuinely really happy about this. So get involved in the comments below. How do you feel about Fabio Paratici's return to Tottenham? I think the general consensus and feeling among the Spurs fan base is they welcome this, but there are some grumblings and some people that do acknowledge there's goods and bads, like Johan Langer as well. We saw with Aston Villa, there's some real positives and negatives. Now Villa without Langer, to be fair, are having a shocker of a window. I think a lot of it is PSR, but at the same time, as soon as Langer left, they got Rashford and Asensio on a loan. That's probably Villa's best window for a long time. Two top players on a loan, which propelled them to stay in that European fight. So two ways you can look at it. But while Langer was at the club, to be fair, I don't really like him. I don't think he's done an awful job at Tottenham. If I'm honest with you, how much it's down to him, I don't know. But he's done the likes of Martinez in particular, Duran, Watkins. They're good players in that he signed. But that is my thoughts on Fabio Paratici's imminent return to Tottenham, which I'm absolutely welcome. I think he's fantastic, and he's already doing work for the club apparently, and just in terms of not an official role. But those are my thoughts. Get involved, as I said, in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. And for now, a massive commune Spurs. Please like and subscribe though. As I said, it is no better time to subscribe. Lots of content coming out for you at the moment. Appreciate the support as always.